Go.
You ready? Timer, you ready? Alrighty, so what I learned at Army training. Who here doesn't understand this picture? Be honest, I'm just curious. You're wrong. It's this Bill Murray movie. It's called Stripes. It is not an accurate representation of the Army, yet at the same time it is an accurate representation of the Army. That is your homework for this weekend. You need to go home and watch it. It's Bill Murray, so you know it's fun. Alright, so a quick overview of what I did over this summer. So this summer I went to, you could call it Cadet Leaders Course, or you could call it Advanced Camp. Our new commanding general has rebranded it as Advanced Camp. And what that is in between your junior and senior year, typically, you go to this school, or after your college graduation, you go to this school, and it's the last thing you have to do before you are ready to commission as an officer with the United States Army. So you go there for a month. It's in Fort Knox, Kentucky, which if you don't know anything about Fort Knox it's really, really hot and the breeze doesn't blow. So it's like you're in a hot room. There's no air conditioning. There's no air movement. It's absolutely terrible. But the whole point of the training is for you to get out in the field, sweat like it's your job, and practice leadership, teamwork, team building exercises, all in the form of tactics, which, as you can imagine, is just going out and pretending you're killing the bad guys. So just a quick overview here. You guys can all see that. We'll just dive right into it. So learn to be content. I learned a few things, and learning to be content is probably one of the biggest things. You can kind of see here, I was going to add some more pictures, I didn't, but you can kind of see here, there's a big line. That's rifle turn-in. And then you can see here, here's another class outside where we're teaching off of butcher paper. I cannot tell you how many of those classes and how many of those lines I stood in. I remember we got to one building, I didn't know what we were doing there. I just saw a line, I got in it. Just stood there. Okay. Alright, well, I'm sure this will go quickly. 4 hours later, I get a shot, I get somebody checking my pulse, and then I'm out of there. I don't know why that took 4 hours for everybody to get a shot and then have their pulse checked. But it taught me to learn how to be content. Learn how to just go, well, this is the situation. I'm just going to have to deal with it. And it was a little bit more frustrating than being a knob, because knob year I kind of expected it. You know, I was like, okay, there's going to be this intentional frustration. There's going to be this thing that just really tries to stick in your craw and just screw with you, right? But this is the Army. We're supposed to be moving, shooting, communicating. We're supposed to be mobile, agile, hostile. Remember the Titans reference there. But what are we doing? We're standing in line. I'm getting paid $38 a day. Only $38. $38 a day to stand in line. Why? Why am I being paid $38? But you just learn how to rely on yourself and rely on the people around you to be content with what you're doing. And all of this is helped by getting to know the people around you. Yeah, these are some awesome selfies, or at least I think so. You know, oh, weirdo, it's fine. The first few days sucked. There's no other word for it. There's a lot of hurry up and wait. There's a lot of people who don't go to normal military, or go to military schools, don't understand the concept of you have to look the exact same, be at this formation, stand there with everything they told you to, precisely. So they're trying to catch up to the things that I've been doing for 3 years, and I'm trying not to get frustrated with them. Because they don't necessarily have the same experience I do, and I don't want to come off as that Citadel guy who thinks that, I go to the Citadel, kids. Tell your kids about it. Like, that's not what I want. So I had to get to know the people around here. These guys right here, this is my squad. And it was interesting, to say the least. And I have a very caustic sense of humor. So I was the first one already making snide comments in the back. Not about some of my cadet leadership, but more about like the things of, hey, guys, remember, tomorrow at 0530, you're going to get down here, you're going to have your ACUs, you're going to have your cadet handbook, and you are going to sit here. And you're going to sit here the Army way. By God, by golly. No, we eventually learned how to joke around. And once I got to know all of these people, it really stuck out. Her right there, Rhiannon Cleveland, she was hilarious. She was making snide, salty, caustic, sarcastic comments the entire time. and it was hilarious. We were in the same fire team, so we were always there. We were just feeding off of each other, and it was getting really bad really quickly. Everhart, she was probably the biggest hippie in the entire platoon. I swore to her that I'd delete that picture, but there it is. And then just all these other guys. There's nothing else really to describe them as anything other than just goons. They were just all guys and gals that loved to joke around. And we had this great chemistry where most of the time people will go to CLC and there will always be that guy who's, as we call him, a spotlight ranger, you know, an attention hog. We didn't have that. We had a great group of men and women. They just wanted to be there and want to have great training. All right, humility. I'm going to have to zoom in on this picture at some point to show y'all. This is me coming out of the gas chamber. I don't know what the Army's fascination with gassing people is, but it seems to be some sort of rite of passage. And I am making the ugliest face in the world. But one of the things I saw when I was standing there, so they put you in this gear that's called Mach 4. It's like the Army's highest level of, or second to highest level, of biological, radiological, and nuclear deterrents that they have. So you're standing there, we're standing in the gas chamber, and all of a sudden, you know, the girl in front of me, Brianna Cleveland, she takes her mask off, and they have her recite, you know, the Soldier's Creed. And she does it with no problem, man. She is like a set. And I'm like, are you ready to get out? She's like, yeah. She walks out. I walk up, take off my mask, I start crying, I start snotting a little bit. It's normal reaction, normal reaction. And then, of course, this little E4, she's like, NCO Creed, sound off. And I'm like, NCO Creed? What? She's got her gas mask off, I'm about to rip it off. And all of a sudden, I start just, like, my face turns into a faucet. Cleveland made me look like a punk, man. She was a badass up there, just going, I'm an American soldier. Oh, she just let the whole thing out, and I looked like a punk. And there were so many times there where I was not the most well-equipped person there. But I'll be damned if I couldn't raise my hand and ask a question. I'll be damned if I couldn't say, hey, I don't know that, I need to learn that. Or if I couldn't just go ahead and take the blame. It was easier, in fact, to take the blame and help everybody to move on, even if it wasn't mine, than just sit there and like pass around like, well, maybe it was her fault. Well, if he had just freaking pulled better security. No, all right, hey, I was squad leader, it's my fault. And the final thing I learned is that goodbyes suck. They really, really suck. Because the 44 people in 9th Regiment, Alpha Company, 4th Platoon are all my friends, and she lives in New Mexico. He's training up in Washington State right now. He's going back to Hawaii, and it's stories like that. Scattered the 4 winds. They're gone. And of course, you know, we have Facebook, social media, things like that, but man, I'd really like to just go out and have a beer with them. Hang out. We didn't really get to do that at training. So, I learned this summer that you just have to be content, that you have to get to know the people around you. Humility is key. It'll take you farther than you think it will. And that goodbyes suck. Thank you.